You bought the seed, you spread it evenly, you watered it every single day for 2 weeks, and now you're standing on your lawn staring at absolutely nothing. Just the same patchy grass you started with, maybe worse. It's frustrating, it's confusing, and honestly it makes you feel like you did something wrong even though you followed everything the bag told you to do. Here's the truth. Your lawn didn't fail because you're bad at this. It failed because a few specific invisible mistakes happened. And today I'm going to show you exactly what went wrong and how to fix every single one of them. Welcome to Timeless Gardening. Let's turn your lawn around. Before we dive into the specific reasons your seed didn't grow, let's quickly understand what's supposed to happen when you overseed correctly. Grass seed needs 3 things to germinate: direct contact with soil, consistent moisture, and the right temperature. If any one of these is missing, the seed either never wakes up, or it sprouts and dies within hours. It's that unforgiving. Now let's look at each reason your lawn might have failed. And I want you to pay attention because one or more of these is exactly what happened in your yard. Reason number 1. Your seed never touched the soil. This is the number 1 reason overseeding fails, and it's the one nobody talks about on the back of the seed bag. If you simply scattered seed over your existing lawn without creating soil contact, those seeds are sitting on top of dead grass clippings, old thatch, and living grass blades. They are not touching soil. Without soil contact, the seed cannot absorb moisture consistently, cannot anchor roots, and will either dry out and die or get eaten by birds long before germination ever happens. The fix is straightforward, but it takes effort. Before you spread a single seed, mow your existing lawn very shorter than you normally would. Then use a rake to rough up the surface, especially in bare patches. You want to see actual soil, not just dead material. Spread your seed, then lightly rake again to mix the seed into that top 1/4 inch of soil. Press it down by walking over it or using a roller. Seed to soil contact is non-negotiable, and skipping this step is why most people waste their money. Reason number 2. The watering schedule was wrong. New grass seed needs shallow, frequent watering to keep the top layer of soil constantly moist. Not soaked and swampy, just consistently damp like a wrung-out sponge. Most people make one of 2 mistakes. They either water too little, letting the surface dry out multiple times during the day, or they water so heavily that the seeds wash away into uneven clumps and bare spots. Here's what actually happens when the surface dries out even once after germination has begun. The tiny root that emerged dies instantly, and that seed is finished forever. The watering fix is simple, but takes discipline. For the first 14 days after seeding, water lightly 2 to 3 times each day, morning, midday, if it's warm, and early evening. You're not soaking the lawn, you're just keeping that top 1/2 inch from crusting over. Reduce frequency once you see grass blades reaching 2 inches tall, but increase the amount of water per session so roots chase the moisture deeper. Think about your own watering routine for a moment. Have you been using a sprinkler on a timer, or watering by hand? Drop it in the comments because different setups have different pitfalls, and someone reading might have solved the exact problem you're facing. Reason number 3. Thatch created a barrier. Thatch is that spongy layer of dead grass stems and roots that sits between green growth and actual soil. A thin layer is normal and healthy, but when thatch builds up beyond 1/2 inch it becomes a solid barrier. Seeds sit on top of it and never reach soil. Seedlings that do sprout can't push roots through it fast enough to reach nutrients and water below. And water sits on top of the thatch instead of soaking down to where the roots need to grow. You can rent a day thatching machine, buy a manual day thatching rake, or for small lawns just rake vigorously until you pull up dead material and see soil beneath. It's physical work, but it makes the difference between complete failure and a thick green lawn. Do this once, then spread your seed, and the results will be night and day different. Reason number 4. You picked the wrong seed. Not all grass grows everywhere. This sounds obvious, but garden centers sell dozens of seed mixes, and most people grab whatever's on sale without reading what's actually inside. Cool season grasses like Kentucky bluegrass and tall fescue need autumn planting and struggle badly in hot southern states. Warm season grasses like Bermuda and zoysia need heat and will not germinate in cool spring soil. Beyond climate, there's the question of sun exposure. If you seeded a shady area under trees with full sun grass seed, the seedlings that emerge will be weak, leggy, and eventually die. The fix is reading the label before you buy. Look for varieties specifically listed as shade tolerant. If you're seeding under trees, check that the grass type matches your hardiness zone. If you're unsure, take a photo of your lawn at different times of day and show it to someone at a local nursery, not a big box store. Local knowledge beats generic marketing every time. Reason number 5. Your timing was completely off. Even with perfect seed contact, perfect watering, and the right variety, your lawn will fail if you seed at the wrong time of year. Grass seed needs specific soil temperatures to germinate, not just air temperatures. Cool season grasses need soil between 10 and 18 degrees Celsius. That's early autumn for most regions, or early spring if you must. But spring seeding faces heavy weed competition. Warm season grasses need soil above 20 degrees Celsius, which means late spring to early summer. If you spread cool season seed in late spring, the seedlings emerge, hit summer heat, and die before roots can establish. If you spread warm season seed in autumn, the soil is too cold and nothing germinates. Check your soil temperature before you plan your seeding weekend. That one small tool eliminates the timing guess forever. Here's a question I'm curious about. What season did you try overseeding? And what part of the world are you in? Tell me in the comments, because timing mistakes vary so much by region, and seeing patterns from other gardeners is incredibly helpful for everyone watching. Reason number 6. The seed was buried too deep. This one surprises people because it seems logical to protect the seed by covering it with a thick layer of soil or compost. But grass seed is tiny and it can only push through about a quarter inch of material. If you applied a heavy layer of topsoil or compost over your seed, you effectively buried it alive. The shoots exhaust themselves trying to reach light and run out of energy before breaking the surface. After spreading seed, rake it in very lightly so it's just mixed with the surface. If you want to add compost, make it a dusting, not a blanket. You should still be able to see some seed after you're done. If the surface looks like fresh potting soil with no seeds visible, you applied way too much. Reason number 7. You forgot the starter fertilizer. New seedlings are like babies. They need phosphorus to build strong roots, not the nitrogen-heavy stuff that pushes rapid green top growth. Many people grab their regular lawn fertilizer and apply it the same day they seed. That high nitrogen blend encourages the existing grass to explode while the seedlings struggle to compete. Starter fertilizer has a different ratio with higher phosphorus, the middle number on the bag. Apply it right after seeding, lightly water it in, and those new roots will anchor deep. Skip it and your seedlings starve while your old grass outcompetes them. Reason number 8. Foot traffic and birds destroyed your work. Newly seeded areas are incredibly fragile. One person walking across to grab the hose, one dog chasing a ball, and those tiny emerging roots get crushed or torn. Seeds also make a perfect bird buffet. Large open areas with visible seed attract flocks that can clean you out in a single morning. The fix for foot traffic is marking off seeded areas with stakes and string for 3 weeks. It feels excessive, but it works. The fix for birds is a very light layer of straw mulch over the seeded area. Not hay, which contains weed seeds. Straw. It hides the seeds, retains moisture and slowly decomposes. Apply just enough to obscure about half the soil surface. Sunlight should still reach through the gaps. So there you have it. If your lawn seed didn't grow, now you know exactly why. It wasn't that you failed. It was that one or more of these invisible problems got in the way. No seed to soil contact, wrong watering pattern, thatch barrier, the wrong seed type for your region, bad timing, burying seeds too deep, skipping starter fertilizer, or letting foot traffic and birds undo all your effort. Good news is every single one of these is fixable. And now you know exactly what to do differently next time. The lawn you want is absolutely possible. You just needed someone to explain what the seed bag never tells you. I want to hear your lawn story. Which of these reasons do you think went wrong in your yard? Maybe you spotted multiple problems at once before you even finished the video. Drop it in the comments. Say where you're located and what you'll do differently next time. Someone else reading those comments is probably in the exact same situation, and your experience matters more than you think. If this episode explained the mystery for you and saved you from wasting another season of effort and money, please give it a thumbs up. It helps Timeless Gardening reach other frustrated lawn owners who need these answers. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next practical guide that gets your garden working again. And before you head out to check your yard, remember that even the healthiest lawns rarely become perfect overnight. Small changes done consistently often create the biggest transformation over time. Sometimes the issue is as simple as watering too often, mowing too short, or using the wrong fertilizer at the wrong season. Pay attention to the little details because they add up quickly, and do not get discouraged if your lawn does not bounce back immediately. Grass needs time to recover, strengthen its roots, and grow evenly again after stress or damage. Keep learning, stay patient, and enjoy the process as well. Thank you for being here. Your lawn can be thick, green, and healthy. You've got the knowledge now. Now go fix it, and I'll see you in the next one.